feel like you don't throw out a Xerath ban unless you're picking your mid laner, and like we kind of guesstimated, this Tristana probably ends up in Crowny's hands.
Yeah, well, this does leave the Poppy open. In and of itself, not a particularly scary champion, but it is Vizichachi's best champion. Baus has played it before, so they could pick it to take it away from Chachi, but then, as you mentioned, that wouldn't be picking the mid on 4, so it's going to be that Azir now for Nemesis, so controlling that mid wave still, that from the middle of the map, pretty much as we've seen throughout the entirety of the NLC now for Nemesis. And now, yeah, we're blinding our top, so we're going to get the counter pick here for Baus, assuming that this Maokai is gonna go into the jungle. And yeah, let's see what Norway does in response. He's had a few champions that, okay, yeah, this is interesting, to be honest. This is a little bit more aggressive. You do have the disengage for the jump in from Tristana, but it doesn't work versus Maokai, right? So that's a little bit concerning.
It's aggressive, and I also think it's kind of bold, right? You're playing against Braum. Obviously, the lane matchup is one that I think historically has always been kind of favored to Syndra, almost quite heavily, to be honest. You can always scatter Azir out of any of the attempts to try and scoop you back when there's jungle ganks. And just generally you spike a lot harder earlier. There's that Poppy for Vizichachi. He had a fantastic game on it yesterday. I think one of his engages was kind of game-winning. I think it was the game-winning play to give Santorin a triple kill on that Kha'Zix. And now it's about what Baus wants, right? Into this kind of composition. I think his pool is probably deep enough. It's just about where he decides to go. And it's going to be Garen, of all things.
Yeah, okay.
And, I mean, sure, why not, right? I'm sure we're going to see some kind of weird proxy like 3 waves in. If I had to wager a guess.
To challenge them, if there is a team who's going to be able to go toe-to-toe with them, it is going to be NORD. So I'd be interested to see if NORD can put Los Ratones behind this game and how Los Ratones, well, this series in general, how Los Ratones then responds to that pressure being applied to them.
I feel like I saw an interview, I think it was from Santorin. I'm really sorry if anyone knows, you can just post it in the chat, guys, in the Twitch chat. But it was Santorin saying, I feel like in terms of skill level, we are even with Los Ratones. It's just who's going to show up on the day. So far, Los Ratones have been showing up every single match day. There's been a few troubles with the team behind the scenes. Some people are actually ill as well. Sometimes they couldn't all scream. So there's been a lot of things behind the scenes. But when it comes to the gameplay, it actually has not showed yet. Now, walking into that game, number 1, the first thing that really struck me as weird was the ex-Mati B1 Ezreal. We saw Crowny do it yesterday, absolutely demolished lane with that Ezreal. It was some LPL LCK Tapashish down in the bot lane, and I actually want to have my eyes on ex-Mati in this particular game to see what he can do, what that B1 that was snatched away from Los Ratones can actually do in the hands of NORD.
I have a lot of faith in ex-Maddie, but I'm also a bit of a fanboy, so it's a little biased. But I've also casted this guy for a very long time. I know he's a very capable Ezreal. Is actually quite a hard champion to make work really, really well. Crowny, like you said, yes, they had an amazing performance on it. And yeah, ex-Maddie, he gets himself a nice reset off, gets that tier started up already. And it is interesting to have a look at what's going on with the Vizichachi Baus lane, because right now, Chachi is controlling that lane. He's up in farm. He's forced Baus to go for a reset. He's now going to have to teleport back into the wave. And Chachi, he can just shove this wave and then look for a recall without having to burn that at all. As Baus just going to full in with the judgment, spinning around on top of him. And Chachi, he's just going to have to walk away from it. There's not much he can do.
Bausy, go back to base, bought his call. He's going to play a very patient game, very CS-focused, if you will. Santorin now, heading towards the top side of the map. Covering right there for Chachi to push in that lane. And the first thing that also strikes me here is that Ivern, we don't necessarily see a lot of Ivern unless 1, you've got a bunch of melee champions, and 2, you've got at least some like bruiser, more aggro type of champions. But saying this, they could potentially be picking up a kill on the top.
Well, that's going to be Baus forced to flash already. No level 6 available on anyone, but the red buff from Santorin burning Baus down. Chachi slowly whistling him down. He's quite tanky, but there it is. First blood to Vizichachi.
I feel like the flash was a little bit too much right there from Baus. I don't think he could actually get away. But right here, this is great game going on for NORD so far. No Way is pushing in Nemesis on that Syndra. Xmati and Treats are having lots of power down the bot lane, and the kill solidified on the top side of the map. Now, again, yesterday, it was a whole different game, because you had a Kha'Zix together with the Poppy, so Santorin could benefit from this. I wonder how much a Poppy being fed in this game is going to influence that mid to late game transition. I feel like the tankiness is going to be good enough, because until we get Zeris on the 2-item power spike, until we've got 1.5 items onto the Tristana, Chachi can really dictate how these fights are being played.
Noah is just locking Nemesis in this lane. Every time he goes for a reset, he plays the interrupt. There isn't much mana on Noah, though, so it does definitely make this a little bit harder. But Santorin coming in, looking to go on Baus once again. He's going to try and clear that wave out, and he's done his best to do so, but Chachi will secure yet another kill. They found the lane to play through with this Ivern, and it is going to be Chachi on the Poppy top side, so...
Okay. You know what? If that Baby Cinder was not locked into Chachi's inventory, I was like, this is it. That's a Trinity Force game for Chachi. Obviously, if you guys weren't watching yesterday, I was on the desk. I'm actually joking. I just feel like Chachi has played great Poppy carries in the past. And when he does get gifted kills early that much, it's kind of cool to reminisce and want to see him back onto these carry days. It's going to be more towards a Sunfire cape, from what I'm seeing here for Chachi. And again, I feel like the tankier this Poppy gets before any aggressive items come through for Nemesis and Crowny, the harder it's going to become, not only to sort of contain him on a side lane, because it's not necessarily split push champion, but with the Bami Cinder, with the Q, you actually clear waves pretty fast, and you can actually force Bausy to actually, for once, maybe play under his tower.
Yeah, or he could just go looking for a proxy, which is, from the way he's positioning on the map, that might just be the game plan here for Baus. But the problem is there's Peter Crouch is in the area. Santorin on the Ivern. Going to be a complete menace. He's actually going to turn his attention towards the grubs, and they're going to seed these minion waves and the potential for tower plates, just because they want to secure themselves an objective trade. Baus is going to make sure that he knows what's going on with that ward drop.
Checking.
Goes and catches another wave. I think he knows he's going to have to at the least execute here, but he's going to try and just grab as many waves as he can. And this is something we haven't seen a lot of teams do versus Los Ratones, is they're not really good at kind of trading blow for blow. So if Los Ratones go and take something, they don't take something else on the other side of the map, because they're bundling too much to try and shut Los Ratones down. NORD are happy to say, okay, you can take that dragon, we're going to take a neutral objective for ourselves, and we'll be quite happy with that trade. And really smart play not to just greed and try and kill Baus again, and actually get something off the map on return, including a jungle camp, which Santorin was able to steal away and secure his level 6.
Yeah, I feel like it was kind of impossible right there to also chase Bausy, because there was a huge wave coming through from the top side of the map, and Chachi was helping with the void grubs as well. So I feel like clearing the jungle, pushing out the waves, just let Bausy do his thing. I feel like this is a lot of teams falling into the trap of trying to dissuade the situation, trying to stop Bausy from proxy. And right here, just let him do his thing. You've got plenty of scaling.
Well, Treats is in danger. He's going to look to try and break away, but Crowny with a buster shot secures the kill. It is a 2 versus 2 solo, well, not solo, but, solo lane kill for Los Ratones.
What happened there? I'd like to see a replay on that. Treats a little bit too far up. Obviously, we do say that the Brom lanes are usually a neutralizer to any melee support lanes down the bot lane. And this is the case here as well. And Crowny locked in that Tristana super quickly when that Ezreal got B1 from the side of NORD. Tristana traditionally a champion that is really good at pushing in the lane really fast and actually creating situations of priority down the bot lane. And let's watch this one more time. What's just happened here? Treats walks up. He wants the cannon minion. Reckless knows, tags him with the Q, and they hit level 6 before Treats does. Now, I don't know. I think it was that one last creep probably that Treats needed for that level 6. I don't think it would have saved him necessarily, but that was a pretty good engage, pretty good Q from Reckless to engage that fight.
Well, they were looking for him again there, but Treats was able to move away nice and safely. Smanny's going to continue to catch the wave as Chachi and Baus continue to go toe-to-toe. Is a brutal lane versus the Poppy, especially when she's got those 2 kills. Got the recall boots, which I can never remember the name of these boots, but they've got the recall boots here on the Poppy. So
they're called souls, something souls.
Something Souls.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name. Bausy is actually looking for it. I mean, he's got ultimate. He's looking for the all-in. Visit Chachi, though, able to trade back very effectively there. As he flashes forwards, comes in with a passive, and I think Chachi just maybe misplayed there a little bit as Nemesis was looking for a play on No Way. There was just a whole bunch that was breaking out there. Nothing really caught either side, though, as Santorin does find the opening. Reckless is going to get locked down as Daisy gets summoned up. Solar Flare lands onto Reckless. He actually avoids Daisy's knock-up as he throws down the Glacial Fissure to break away. And meanwhile, in the mid-lane, No Way is in danger. No flash, no way to go. He's secured. Down he goes. Nemesis picks the kill up as Chachi. Let me rest my voice, guys. There's so much fighting in the last few moments.
Yeah, we had the 1v1 over in the top lane, then the attempted gank over in the mid lane onto No Way. Then No Way ends up overextending, trying to join the bot lane skirmish. Reckless just about gets away by blowing his flash, and No Way getting caught. No man's land ends up going down. That's going to cost them quite a lot. You see Nemesis grabs a plate right there, that he grabs the first kill as well. And when you see champions like Azir, who are one of the very few AP mages that can dish out consistent damage into tanks and into shields like the Ivern, you have to get kind of worried. I feel like Nemesis put on a show yesterday on lane dominance, and right here getting the first kill early in the game, about 10 minutes in, getting quickly to that first item is sort of going to unlock Los Ratones playing around those neutral objectives.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, looks like Xmatty maybe getting his back slowed down. We'll still get back to base nice and safely. Los Ratones able to find something on the map there. They were down a kill, answered back with that one on to No Way. As Centauran heads back to base, picks up his redemption. Got the Blackfire onto No Way finished up here. So items are starting to come in across the board. As Velia will be looking to secure themselves the grubs. If they can get at least one, they will deny that stack. And honestly, next kill is actually the next major stack as well. So No Way looking for it. They're going in for the Solar Flare in. The lockdown, the redemption. They're throwing everything in, but the wall is big enough as it crumbles, and so does the kill. Chachi jumps into the pocket of Nemesis, but now he's got Reckless to deal with as he gets caught out by the stun. Crowley's going to continue to chase forward. W comes out. The scout of the week is too slow. They don't get it. Bile spinning around in the middle of everyone as he gets locked down by Santorin. Nemesis is just continuing to fire away on No Way with the Sand Soldiers. And it looks like the heat has died off. 4 grubs were picked up, so NORD were able to deny 1. Don't know if they're going to be able to get more, though.
I was a little bit chaotic. I felt like somehow both teams were super late for this. Xmatty was down in the bot lane when NORD were engaging as a 4-man. Bausy was proxying between tier 1 and tier 2 while his team was trying to approach from river and from jungle. I feel like Crowny was a little bit late on the reset as well. So it was a little bit scrappy and a little bit back and forth, but this is where Ivern shines. And let's see, Bausy having a little bit of trouble treats across the wall. They might look possibly put some pressure down onto Baus. 1 and 2, he's got his Tiamat, he's got his Phage. I don't think this Garen goes down easily. He's 2 levels up.
No, they're still going to attempt it to get the W on with the Essence Flux, but Baus, he just tanks it. They honestly could have taken a plate instead, and they decided not to. Chachi, though, on the other hand, he's found Crowny. Crowny very susceptible to go down, flashes the wall, but Chachi's got the chase up onto him. W coming up fairly soon. Ease him into the wall. Down with the hammer, and down with Crowny.
Great angle right there from Chachi on the Poppy, and again the kills coming into fruition right here for NORD. All that attention that Santorin put over the top side of the map for Chachi, the Sunfire Cape, has come through, being able to just threaten Crowny. Just 1 item to stun a pretty squishy, you cannot kill that Poppy. And that was a little bit my worry in the early game. I'm like, if Poppy starts bundling up all that armor and all these resistances in her kit through items, before you have any aggro items or penetration, it's going to become really difficult to sort of contain Chachi, at least in the early to mid stages of the game. And let's have a look at this one more time. Chachi's 2 levels up on this restun. A very clutch E interrupt on the back as well, and caught him on the jump. Crowny, both his jump and cleanse and flash blown, and in the end, Chachi ends up getting the kill too. Kind of a disastrous turn of events for the AD carry of Los Ratones. And Hiprin, we're talking in the early game, when we first got into this game. If Los Ratones are finally going to get skill checked so far, I believe this is one of the closest games we have seen, at least in the early to mid stages.
Yeah, they're not massively far ahead in gold. The gold is a 500 gold lead to Los Ratones. That's not a massive one at all. This is definitely the first time we've seen them getting somewhat skill check. The question is, it comes down to the decision making here on NORD. Are they going to make the right moves? As they are looking to collapse in onto this fight. X-Maddie, Santorin, everyone's made their way over. Good solar flare lands onto everyone. They bop one back. The numbers advantage is theirs. The redemption to heal everybody up. Los Ratones lose two. They will lose. They don't lose the dragon though. Velia secured it on the way out. But 2 kills going over to NORD. Really, really decisive play coming in from them.
That was a super clutch smite from Velia, because had he not gotten that, they would have lost everything. Now Santorin and Chachi are looking for Baus.
Yeah, I don't think Baus is actually going to live this here. He's going to lose a lot of HP. Chachi's going to slowly but surely whittle him down. It's not the Triforce, it's not as much damage. Santorin smites Baus for the kill. Taking him down for the 3rd time this game. Rough showing there. So have a look at that fight again at the Dragon Pit.
On me, guys, on me. Let's have a look at this one more time. You have an extra body with the Daisy right there, and very clutch ultimate by Chachi right there, throwing the Brom out, which means no defensives were used by Reckless in this particular fight. And again, it becomes very difficult to navigate around Ivern. You've got an extra body, you've got the redemptions, you've got the heals, the shields coming through the champion. And even though I do question the intention behind the Ivern, when you do not necessarily have a lot of melee champions or a bruiser, kind of like a Yone or a Camille or something along the lines that really likes to use those Ivern utility spells, it feels like using this on Chachi and Trees just for pure brute force power has worked so far for them in the early game. And is this the Bausy replay? It's not.
I think it was going to be, but I think from the collection of people topside, we might be expecting some action. Looks like with 3 about, Velia hanging off out of sight. I believe he's just been spotted by that ward nemesis. Not the ward, the minion nemesis just killed. Looks like the contest is coming in onto the Rift Herald. Are NORD going to fire out here? I mean, boots have already been secured by NORD. Can they secure this objective? Deny it from Los Ratones. It looks like they've just been able to muscle their way forwards. They know that Baus is taking a tower bot lane. So they have the numbers advantage, and actually Reckless is going to eat some of that damage there from Vizichachi. The wall will block that, but there it is. Herald secured for Rift, for the side of NORD. And they will get a tower in response. On the side of Los Ratones, Baus should be able to finish this tower up. Oh, he's a little bit slow on it, actually. Maybe not this wave. I know he gets it.
I feel like they could potentially go for double tower right here, specifically when they see Crowny over in the mid lane. You could pop Rift Herald right here and potentially try to threaten a dive, but everyone kind of backs off. Everyone resets. Baus does get the tower over in the bot lane, so we'll see where the Rift Herald, or they're going to choose, to pop the Rift Herald from the side of NORD. But so far, it's been a solid game. They've actually given very little to no attention to Baus, apart from those 2 kills over in the early game that got Chachi ahead. They haven't necessarily cared about whether he's proxying or he's ahead of the wave or he's playing between tier 1 and tier 2. And I feel like if you look over the entire map, 1, 0, and 5 for Santorin, he's been all over the place. 6 out of 7 kill participation, 2 and 0 for X-Mati on this Ezreal, who's very close to his Muramana as well. So far, so good for NORD. Chachi, he does have speed. Garen has more speed. He does have an execute as well.
This is getting quite close, actually. Chachi's able to pick the shield up, gets the wall bang down, slow from the Q. Baus is making the run. The knock-up comes in. Baus flashes. Velia comes in and saves the day. There's a redemption to keep him alive, though. Very clutch from Santorin, but Baus gets away with 200 health. Oh, that was close.
I mean, hey, he achieved what he wanted to achieve. However, Chachi did not necessarily have to burn much to chase him down. You kind of stop the tempo from Baus right there, pushing the wave. You take the flash, which is something he's really...
Chachi's moved up to... So this tower is going to be quite an important take, and I think this is the moment now where NORD are going to look to be using that Rift Herald, maybe to crack mid-tier, tier 1, or maybe to crack top, just to pull pressure and numbers away from Atakan, which is going to be spawning on that top side of the map. Dragon is also an option, and to be fair to NORD, they've already given 2 dragons up, so this next dragon is actually quite important. They don't really want to be forced onto Soul Point, especially when it's an Infernal map.
If you look over in the inventory of NORD, great item breakpoints right before the dragon as well. They've already walked into the river. They've established a little bit of vision, trying to figure out where Los Ratones are going to be coming through, and I'm looking for a TP ward from Bausy that he could potentially use. But right here, I feel like Los Ratones don't really need to contest with this dragon. You already mentioned it. They already have the thirst to allow Baus to be on the side lane, farm a little bit more. 196 CS in 19 minutes. This guy's on 10 CS per minute so far. He's the only member of Los Ratones on 2 items, and he is going to become extremely problematic if he does find that flank TP later on, if he does find Xmati or No Way in the backline. Reminder that NORD only have 2 damage sources, and one is a burst, which is Syndra, the other one is a poke champ. So they don't necessarily have that consistent damage profile that we're looking for on ADC and APC. So you take one of the 2 out of the fight, it's going to be very little damage remaining for NORD.
They're kind of getting to that point where NORD, they actually answered Baus really effectively early, but it looks like they're starting to get a little bit worried about him. So they're going to throw down the Herald, crack open this mid tower. I'd like to see them go for another charge, try and commit for this second, but I think the wave was trimmed too much, so they're just going to get the damage done to it. Half health on tier 2. Does mean they open the map up somewhat, but with Atakan up, the pings are going down. Vizicachi swapping out to the bottom side of the map, knowing that he has teleport, while the rest of his team are now going to look to try and move their team around, do a bit of a shuffle for the Atakan buff. And I think Atakan probably blows this game open, to be honest. I think, you know, if NORD get it, they can just full commit for like a tower dive fight and then use the revives effectively off that.
I don't think we have seen a full-blown team fight yet. We saw a little bit of a scrap around the Void Grabs, I think it was, of the Herald. Can't remember which one or the other, but it was a 1-for-2. It wasn't necessarily like a full-blown, everyone commits in kind of team fight. And if you look over on the side of NORD, again, the 2-item breakpoint has come through every single one of their champions. You've got the Moonstone as well onto this Ivern. And even though I did mention the sort of lower damage profile, if you will, the survivability allows for more damage to go through. Chachi's found 3, but I don't think he wants to find those 3.
Yeah, I don't think this goes quite as well as he wanted. He gets hit by the Glacial Fissure, being absolutely melted. The redemption from Santorin's big. I mean, it got the Glacial Fissure out, but Chachi's having to reset. Sure, he had a teleport, but he has to now reset, move back, and Baus has been able to hard shove this bot side. Someone has to go catch that wave. Los Ratones definitely have the tempo now to put some pressure down onto Atakan, as Xmati not really going to do too much damage to a Garen at this point.
A little bit of pain onto Baus right there from Xmati. Gold dead even, about 700 gold between those 2 teams. And the funny thing is that the later you take Atakan into the game, the closer it is to a Baron. So you can very easily leverage the buff to then take a fight for a Baron as well. That's what a lot of teams are doing. Obviously, the buff, well, the revive has been nerfed. You cannot instantly revive and then TP back in, but it's still faster than if you were to die that late into the game.
Yeah.
And then spawn back up. Now, Chachi and No Way, they're hovering down the bot lane. They both have TP, so they could potentially pull a play onto Baus. Oh, Baus!
Oh, Baus flash forwards. He didn't realize Chachi was in the area. He's going to get sent back in. No way. Can they keep the pressure up onto him? I mean, it's a Phantom Dancer Swifties Garen. He's getting away. And with 2 members showing bot side, Los Ratones are going to immediately pull the trigger and start up Atakan. But those 2 members are the ones with teleport. Although I say that, Chachi actually doesn't have teleport. No Way does. The pressure comes in from NORD and Los Ratones have to back off.
Yeah, this is why Chachi sort of rotated towards mid lane to push down that wave, and they left No Way all the way down to sort of bounce waves between him and Baus. You'll see, oh, Nemesis tried for the play right here, gets the flash off of Santorin, and I feel like this Atakan fight is not really for Atakan, is to try and find some kills between the 2 teams.
Yeah, well, there's going to be a lot down. Everybody is seeming to be committed, but there's Baus coming in on that flank. Teleport coming in from No Way as well. Chachi's got his own flank locked down immediately, but Matty is one shot. Crowley did so much damage to him. Chachi in the middle of 4. Can he hold his own? No, he can't. Shut down to Baus, and that is going to be Atakan.
Great aggression coming through from Crown. He jumps forward to assassinate Xmati. Xmati once again, between yesterday and today, caught completely out of position on a champion that you would think is really hard to catch in these situations. No Way trying to salvage this previous skirmish that we just saw. Atakan going over to Los Ratones, but no way, he's gonna take that mid lane tier 2. And not gonna lie, that was a little bit of a whoopsie from NORD. There were a bunch of ultimates and flashes and engages that were exchanged between the two. I feel like Velia 3's ult, Nemesis 3's ult. They tried to take Santorin right there. Santorin flashes away, and then there was pretty much, I think even Treats tries to ult Nemesis right here. So there was pretty much a bounce back and forth of every ultimate under the sun. But look on the minimap right here. Baus TP's right behind the triplet of NORD, Xmati, gets slowed by the seed, and I'm gonna stop because we have more.
Treats finds the lockdown onto multiple people. Immediately knocked back by Nemesis' ult though to save the day. The whole team's caught for the grasping roots as they're getting poked down by Maddie. Baus is low, but he has that revive, remember. Dragon now starting to whittle down Los Ratones' health bars. There's the redemption to heal. The members of NORD back up to full. Baus just going to go on the old long flank. He's a Garen. He'll heal up. Got a mini Warmogs built into him. Chachi's just trying to play zoning right now, but Dragon should be secured here for the side of NORD. And they just need to get back on the map and get a grip of those waves once again. We saw what Crownie was able to do to Xmati. The lockdown actually hits onto Treats as he gets the concussive blows built up. Crownie can just continue to chase forwards. Dragon, though, still not secured. I don't know who got that.
No!
Nemesis stole the Dragon away from NORD. It's gone so wrong. Chachi tries to escape, but he is blown back. And Los Ratones have blown the game wide open.
Los Ratones have forced NORD to go dizzy in 30 seconds. NORD forces Los Ratones out of Baron. Then they feel like they're safe, so they split on the map. And then Los Ratones hit them individually in different sides of the map. The mid lane skirmish, the 2 versus 2, and then down the Dragon. Nemesis, when Santorin was around with Smite, steals the Dragon from them. And back to back, the Atakan fight into the Atakan buff, into the Dragon fight, into the Dragon taken for Los Ratones, and now the Baron. They have pulled themselves ahead 3,000 gold lead, which, funnily enough, this is the largest gold lead we've seen the entire game. And what in the world happened? Because this here should never happen. Bausy, as you mentioned, with the mini Warmogs built into his passive, he jumps back in, and Santorin completely gives up the Dragon. He cannot walk through, doesn't have the flash, he doesn't want to give away his life. And Nemesis secures that one, whilst Reckless and Crownie take over the 2v2 between Treats and Xmati.
I don't know what Santorin was doing. I just don't understand why he wasn't there. Regardless, mistake made, and that now leans Los Ratones onto Soul Point. They've got Baron as well off the back of this, so a very, very effective time during the replay. They're able to take lots off the map, and NORD, they seemed to have a good early game plan, but the problem was as soon as it went wrong, they got lost, they got confused, the script fell apart, and their guide to beating Los Ratones suddenly just crumbled away from them. They are throwing everything onto Baus. He will go down here as the Unleashed Power from No Way secures the kill, but that comes at the cost of a inhibitor tower bot side. Nemesis and Reckless were able to secure that one. The rest of the team are collapsing in to try and make sure they get out nice and safe. NORD definitely looking a little bit lost here, Trouble.
I usually back up Baus and his deaths. This one I feel like was a little bit too overeager. You have 5 members, full Barons. I feel like just getting one inhibitor tower with an entire Baron buff is not quite what you were looking for. Right here, NORD are flanking around. Nemesis
getting his face interrupted there was absolutely catastrophic for them. Looks like he's going to get away, but everyone else had to protect him on the way out. And Visit Chachi should be able to run him down. Velia gets the blast cone to safety. There's no way he gets away there.
True shot?
True shots? No, not even close. Not even close. He's outie.
They blew 2 flashes. Leona flash, Chachi on the Poppy flash to kill the tree. The Zaza leaves another day, and Velia gets to go back to base and regen his HP, while Crownie taking another outer tower. Only one in mid lane remaining for the side of NORD. And even though you said it felt like NORD were doing great in the early game, I feel like Los Ratones are pulling them apart on the map. And this is where teams excel. In the chaos, in the panic, in the fast macro, way too many skirmishes around the map. What is your decision making? And Los Ratones have always been taking some sort of objective with whatever fight breaks through. Now, of course, the Baron buff is not going to stay onto them for much longer. It's going to be expiring very, very soon. But we already have both teams wanting to set up for the next Dragon. It's going to be Soul for Los Ratones, and an Infernal Soul, it's going to hurt a lot if it gets acquired.
Yeah, especially with someone like an Azir who's got all that range and can quite easily land those Qs and poke your health bar down. Empowered a little bit more by the Infernal Soul. Really kind of stuck there as Ratones securing a little bit of vision around the map. I mean, Baron's not up for a while, so it's a bit bizarre that they were putting resources into Vision topside. As Vision toggle, thank you very much, from the Observer shows that actually Los Ratones have put most of their Vision topside, which means that maybe they're okay trading the Dragon here, knowing that this isn't even going to be sole point for NORD, and they could just attack the top side of the map. A potential avenue for them.
Now they came back from the resets, I think they are going to take some control over the bot side, especially.
No. Looking for X-Matty, he's able to get away safely thanks to the Buster Shot, but the lockdown doesn't quite land on the Crownie. Crownie's continuing to make an escape away. Good ult from Velio will lock down the team and kind of split the fight up on multiple fronts. Crownie flashes forwards into Judge's pocket, secures the kill. Teleport from Bausy comes in. It's only going to be the one who goes down, but Crownie flashing into Chachi's face and securing that kill. That was
they're
serious confidence.
They're playing so heavily for the kills right here from Los Ratones, and I'm just sitting here scratching my head because Mati, again, the most slippery member of NORD, playing super far forward and aggressive, getting instantly punished in 2 iterations. And yes, here, he did not die, but he was completely out of the picture. Again, NORD have a very low damage profile. They play to play as a death ball, they play for the protection, they play for to have the Iron and the shields and the utility and the heals. So the longer you survive, the more damage you can do as you're chipping away with Syndra and the Ezreal. However, if you take one of the 2 pieces out of the equation breaks. There is not enough damage to take down Los Ratones, and you feel like every time NORD splits, you see the Crown or Nemesis chasing someone off and taking the kills.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a bizarre playstyle. The gold lead right now, I'm starting to get to the point where it gets a little bit less relevant, but it is 5,000 gold. Actually, we're not full items, so we're only 30 minutes in. It feels like the game's later than it is, but then I just forget how fast Los Ratones games are. So already, teams starting to stack up on items. I mean, Crownie's almost full build. He's just got to finish his QSS. I can't remember the name of the item it turns into. Scimitar. No.
Mercurial Scimitar? Yeah.
It is Mercurial. Yeah. I honestly forgot the name of that item because it's been a while since I've seen it, but he's almost got that finished up for himself. Almost full build. So it looks like NORD still continuing to kind of, like you said, death all around, looking for these picks. I mean, Bausy is not the one they want to commit resources onto. Crownie definitely a more worthy target for them. Crownie or Nemesis. The bushes go up. How comes the ultimate from Chachi? I mean, who's he going to hit? Cancels it. Look for the lockdown onto Reckless. But yeah, Bausy's just going for a flank angle. I mean, he's got Stride Breaker.
He doesn't even actually need to get the angle. Just the fact that they know Bausy is behind them and he's threatening them and he shows every time they need to be careful. There we go.
Here we go. They do send one package.
He's gone.
Bausy takes out Santora and throws the oldie onto X-Matty. Not enough to finish him up, but Treats will go down regardless. In comes Nemesis. The shuffle doesn't hit. No Way gets some damage down and is followed up with the kill. Vela trying to lock Maddie down. Maddie healing himself up as much as possible, but that one Vampiric Scepter may not be enough. Reckless sends the Winter's Bite in and secures the kill. NORD lose everyone but No Way. They've got their DPS. They can secure this Baron.
Yeah, NORD tried to stay together as a death ball, but again, the threat of being flanked, of being split apart, and the Ivern dying first in the fight was huge. No more shield, no more bushes, no more hiding, no more Daisy, no nothing of that. Your utility is absolutely gone. Again, NORD have created an equation of a composition. You take a member out, and it just doesn't function anymore. And Los Ratones with their second Baron of the game.
They're waiting for Velia and Nemesis. I mean, Bausy, more importantly. Just going to get it nice and low. Nice play here, actually. They're waiting for everyone to come up, make sure the whole team gets that Baron buff. There's the secure. Oh, Nemesis didn't get it. But he'll be grouped with the team. It was more important that Bausy got it because he's a side lane menace.
Let's watch this one more time. Here comes Baus from the back, and they straight up go onto Santorin. He melted away. Doesn't matter if Baus gives his life away from this, because now NORD are all over the place. You see Chachi over on the left. Everyone is scattered. They're trying to run away. And there's just so much movement ability on the side of Los Ratones to chase those kind of fights away. And again, NORD want to fight as a one-man unit, a death ball to play around the utility, and it has not been allowed from Los Ratones so far.
Not been allowed at all. It's been a wee bit of a rough end of this game, really. NORD, they started so effectively, so well, but Los Ratones, they just needed that one little grip hold, that one little bit that they could slide into the game and take control. And they have done so effectively here. Pulling the gold lead into their favor, pulling the map control into their favor, more importantly, is they're just going to look to finish up this final tower outside the base. As Baus actually may just have a solo kill onto Chachi. He just pops him! What?
He's gone. Chachi is gone. Same as the inhibitor in the mid lane. They're heading towards the inhibitor on the bot side. Baus still pressuring, and it's a 4 versus 5 without your frontliner or NORD. The only frontliner they have remaining is Daisy. And there she is. She's coming in. For that last fight, that last defense for NORD.
I think this is it here. Los Ratones, we wanted to see what they're like from behind. They didn't get massively behind, but they were still able to pull this game back from NORD control. Crowny just securing himself a couple of extra kills. A triple kill onto the Tristana is finished up by No Way on the way out, but the Nexus goes down. 35 minutes on the clock. That's a relatively lengthy loss.